We're not going to call this one a COD rant today because this one is more of a, I guess, a general gaming rant. We're going to mention COD, but we're going to mention other games, and we're going to just talk about gaming in general, gaming for fun, the purpose of gaming at any age. And even if you think about when you first started playing video games, regardless of your age, regardless of what era you were in, whether your first video games were, PlayStation, whether it was Super Nintendo, whether it was Atari, like it doesn't matter how far back you go, or, in the last 20 years, what was the reason you played video games, right? And it was because it was fun, right? It was something new, it was interesting, and then when you tried it, whatever, your first console, your first whatever, it was fun. And at least to my recollection, we were playing because we wanted to get better at the games, but not in the aspect of like what we see today with content creation, right? Content creation has created this weird competitive side of gaming, but not competitive in the just get better aspect, just competitive in like a weird, like the try hard, right? Content creation has almost been a virus in gaming because it's taken away the core of why we used to game, and it's created this weird try hardness of like, I see so many content creators who play certain games, because obviously not all of them. You still have PvE games, single player games where like it's not an issue of competitiveness, right? But for like PvP games, people used to just play for fun. I remember some of the most fun I had was with my brother and my cousins. We used to play Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Mario Kart, NBA Jam. And we used to just play for hours and have fun. And, we'd argue and things like that. We were young, but it never stopped us from just playing from a fun aspect. So, like, for us getting better, there was still fun, still drove that mindset of we were all trying to get better at Street Fighter, and we all had our favorite characters, and we were all trying to get better at Mortal Kombat, and we all had our favorite characters. But like it was still fun driven, and everything else came after. And then like now I feel like content creation has just created this weird, isolating, lonely, try hard attitude that it's like, if you ain't trying hard, like, why are you even playing? And I feel like that's ruined gaming so much, because so many people, you see it in their faces, you see it in their body language, you hear it in their tone. So many people aren't playing because they want to have fun. They're not playing because they're trying to do something. It's just this consistent try hard attitude approach. And it's terrible. It's terrible. And like, I'm all for competitive, don't get me wrong. Oh man, here come the bots. But I just feel like I want to get away from that. I want to get away from this angle of like everything just has to be competitive. Like no one's having fun, myself included. Like I'll put myself at the top of that list. I think I spent the last year playing Call of Duty, and like I didn't have much fun. So much of it was just like this competitive angle of like I was trying to get better, but because You know, we were trying to do like look at it from the angle of like playing ranked, which is solely, you know, you got to try hard the whole time because you're playing other tryhards. But like I wasn't having fun. And I think this year with Call of Duty having such a massive drop off in entertainment value, it's more evident than it's ever been that like I don't want to play this particular game because it's not fun, and the try hard aspect of it is just not a driver for me anymore. I enjoy being competitive, but like right now, mentally, that's not a driving factor for me to say like, oh, I want to play this particular game and, you know, play this particular mode in this particular game. So I've been testing out other games. You know, Fortnite's doing their thing over there with OG Fortnite, and it's sweaty as hell. And that it's a bit ironic, right? So all the OG Fortnite players are over there on the OG map, and all I keep hearing is how, man, it's so sweaty, man, every player is so good, man, like it feels so competitive. And then it's just like there's an angle to gaming that so many people online just aren't factoring, and regardless of which game. For this example, we'll say Fortnite, but it applies to COD, it applies to Apex, it applies to like so many FPS style games where it's just like Fortnite is 7 years old. 7 years ago, let's be hypothetical. Let's say if you're 21 right now and you're playing Fortnite. So 7 years ago, you would have been what, 13, 14, depending on what your birthday is. So when you were 13, 14, and you were playing with your friends who were probably, let's say they were around the same age, and you were playing against other 13, 14-year-olds. All of you were in school, so you weren't playing 8 hours a day per se, maybe at night if you were going to bed late, you know, because you wouldn't be able to play until you got home from school, and then weekends, obviously. But the mind of a 13, 14-year-old in a brand new game, the average 13, 14-year-old back then who wasn't a content creator is very different than, say, playing 7 years in a row now. Now you're 21, your peers are 21, your competitors are 21, right? And let's say most of them stuck to it. They're out of school, whether they're in college or not, they're playing more hours, they put in more time to it. Some of them just, you know, they're just video game grinders. Somehow they found a way to play 8 hours a day, even through school and everything. And let's say you didn't, or even if you did, you were still playing for fun, but they were playing because they were tryhards. So now everybody goes back to OG Fortnite, and everyone's like, man, it's so sweaty. And it's like, yeah, because you're not factoring the two things that happen with most games that stick around long enough, the successful ones at least. Those two things being, if a game sticks around for 7 years, chances are it's growing an audience. So the math will tell you there's going to be more players. And then the secondary effect is a lot of people who have consistently played it for those 7 years have just gotten better too. So that's who you're going to play against. You're going to play against more players who are better. So now when you load into those games, the mode might be OG, but the players aren't, right? And I seen some comments on Twitter because people said that. They were like, yo, a lot of you are forgetting when Fortnite first dropped, everybody wasn't this skilled, right? So you were playing, you know, quote unquote bad players, and in Fortnite specifically, you were playing bots. So now when you go back and you're playing all sweaty try-hard content creators, yeah, the game's gonna feel sweatier. So now a lot of people aren't having fun, because that's the other angle to this. What I'm seeing with OG Fortnite is a lot of people who on day one were excited. Oh my God, they brought back the OG map and the OG graphics and the OG weapons. But by day two now, day three, a lot of people aren't as excited, right? Because they're playing tryhards. And that's why I said, like, at the beginning of this, I feel like that's my point. Like, content creation has negatively impacted gaming, because everybody wants to be a content creator, especially when you see the kind of money that some of these people are making and the kind of lifestyles that it has provided for people. And again, I'm not here to knock anybody's hustle. I'm all for it. Everybody wants to monetize their hobby, right? So that's not at all what I'm trying to argue against. But because we also have this stigma of too many of us associate a successful content creator lifestyle with skill set in the game or games you play as for your content. So it makes everyone try hard, and it takes away people just playing for fun. And that's another error, where a lot of content creators that I personally watch, they just have great personalities and they're entertaining. They're not even the best players out there by their own admission. They're good players, but they're not the best players. They know it, their audience knows it, but that's not why their audience is there. That's not why we watch them. We watch them just because they have entertaining personalities that extend beyond any particular game that they play, right? Which should by definition be why you're called a content creator and not like a specific game player. You know, like in Call of Duty, I like to say, like, a lot of people who call themselves content creators, they're actually Call of Duty players that think they're content creators because they don't play anything else. So it's almost like you're not making content in the way that I'm personally viewing it. Obviously, this is my opinion. You're not making content as in entertainment. You are playing exactly one game over and over and over again. And sure, you put out videos on that game. And I guess by definition, that is content. But when I watch a content creator, I almost think of it like watching TV or almost like going on YouTube. I want to be able to see something different on a given day. Sometimes I don't know what I want to see, but that's the whole point, right? You turn the TV on, flip through the channels or whatever, your favorite streaming app or YouTube, and you just type in the search bar what you want to see right now. Oh, is there a horror movie? Is there a funny skit? Is there a drama? Whatever. So to me, that's how I feel like all content creators should be. It should be variety. And who you are as a person should be at the forefront of that content. Your audience should find something in you that shines the light, that makes them want to stand under that light, under that spotlight. You, the content creator. But if you're just playing one video game over and over and over and over and over again, it's like, I hate to say it, but it's going to get dead, specifically when the game is no longer fun. And we're seeing that with Call of Duty. With Call of Duty, the game is down bad right now. And so Call of Duty content creators are simply just not entertaining right now. And it's not necessarily because they're not entertaining, even though a lot of them are not. They have terrible, boring personalities online. Because, again, they're stuck in try-hard mode, so they think that just because they play COD, people want to watch them play COD. But they're boring otherwise. A lot of creators, Call of Duty creators, are stuck because the content, in this case Call of Duty, is boring. But because they're not playing anything else, that boring is not becoming a reflection of them, even though that's not who they are, but it's becoming a reflection of them because they can't give you anything beyond Call of Duty right now. And so by association, their light is being shined from Call of Duty. And so, to take the long way around this rant, a lot of Call of Duty creators, one of the things they're noticing in the past couple weeks is their views are down. And depending on how big of a creator you are, you might be down 500 views every day. You might be down 5,000 views every day. So, you know, it's gonna scale differently depending on your level of success right now. And so for the people losing thousands of views per day, that's harsh, because every one of those views translates to financial revenue. But again, they're all online asking, man, are your views down? Are your views down? What's going on? I'm posting every day and I'm just not getting the views. And it's just like, they don't get it. The content, Call of Duty content, the game is down bad, so nobody wants to see it. But because they can't pull themselves out of this Call of Duty box, they keep trying to force feed Call of Duty content, and then they don't understand like why no one is watching them. Because it's not you, it's the content, right? And like, I hope I'm making sense. Like, I feel like I'm ranting, but in my brain, I'm connecting dots. I just don't know if I'm verbalizing that properly, where it's like, Call of Duty content is bad. That's all they're doing. Views are down. They don't understand. If you're a great content creator, it should be about your personality first and not the specific game. So you should be able to do variety to keep your audience entertained. I guess that's the TLDR of the whole thing. So yeah, and a lot of that, like I said, a lot of that just is encompassed by, a lot of people aren't having fun. They're just so stuck into their favorite game or their favorite thing that they're not being driven by fun. And so they're trying to force their way into like, I gotta make this work. I gotta make this work. I gotta make this work. But it's just like, your audience can see it. The content is bad, and the content being the game. You're not having fun. We could see it in your body language. We can hear it in your tone. So when you combine all of that together, it's a recipe for disaster, because nobody wants to see a not fun game and a miserable content creator trying to make it work. It's just a recipe for bad. You're baking a bitter cake. You know it's bitter. The audience knows it's bitter. No one's gonna eat it, and you're upset, wondering, why is nobody eating this bitter cake? Because it's bitter. You need a new recipe. You need a new cake. You know? But I say all that to say what I started with, which was, you know, I don't really consider myself a content creator per se, because I don't do this consistently. I want to, but you know, I wake up every day and like life decides for me like how the day's gonna go. I'm not tied down to anything right now, and that's a good thing. I consider myself lucky in that aspect. I get to wake up every day, and I have things that keep me busy, and things that I can focus my energy and attention on and my time on. But I would love to create content more consistently. And this is sort of like a step one, right? So I guess my point is that, as someone who wants to be a consistent content creator, I'm just gonna branch out and try different things. Like I refuse to be boxed into one thing anymore. You know, I gave Call of Duty a lot of years of my life, a lot of time. I love that game. I'm always gonna love that game. So this isn't some goodbye speech. This is just more like, Call of Duty is not gonna be a main driver for me anymore. Call of Duty is gonna be like anything else. When I want to play it, when it works, because right now it doesn't work. If it works and I want to play it, I'll play it. But it's not gonna be the thing I look forward to every day, like I did for a while, where every day it was just like, oh, I want to, you know, I'm gonna get on the game. I want to do ranked. I want to do this. I want to grind a camo. You know, it's not gonna be that anymore. It's just gonna be part of a rotation, and I'm just gonna play whatever happens to be fun in that moment. Right now, I've been testing the waters, and the finals has been really fun for me. And I'm new to that game, so I'm a bot out there, but that's the point, right? This week they literally hit their 1-year anniversary. Their new season drops December 12th. And I don't want to miss the boat like I did with Fortnite, for example, or Apex. Fortnite came out 7 years ago. So it's hard to try to get into Fortnite right now and be good enough, even from just a having fun aspect as a casual. It's hard to get into a game like Fortnite or Apex when there's so many skilled competitive tryhards out there. And I don't mean that in any disrespectful way to those people. Because like I said, for a lot of them, it's because of the content creation angle. So they got to be like tryhards a lot. But it's hard to get into a 7-year-old game and even reach a level where you're probably having fun, because you're just going to get into all these sweaty lobbies, right? Especially when you're talking about games with skill-based matchmaking, which Fortnite has it, whether you want to believe it or not. Apex has it, COD has it. I'm sure the finals has it, but because it's so early, I'm looking at it from the angle of like, I want to be like an early adopter of that game. You know, it's only 1 year old. It's still going through its infancy. It's still growing. They're still making changes. They're still taking a lot of feedback from the player base that's currently growing. And I feel like I want to be a part of that growth. I want to see the changes the game goes through over the years. This the way I've seen COD basically. I've been playing COD for so long that I've seen all these changes COD has gone through. You know, so for me, that's why I can hop on a Call of Duty at any time, and I've seen its evolution. I've been there the whole way, but I haven't been there like that for Fortnite. I haven't been there like that for Apex. So I like the finals. It's fun. It feels fun for me right now. Will that change one day? I don't know. But right now it feels fun. Right now I play it and I lose and I literally don't even care. I don't even think about it twice. I don't get angry. I don't get stressed out. Nothing. It's just, oh, okay, load up again. It literally just feels like, it feels like when I used to game and like the winning purpose, the try hard purpose, the competitive purpose didn't exist. And that's what it feels like. Like I'm just playing for pure entertainment. Just pure entertainment. And I like that feeling. And I wish more people would get that feeling back, because I feel bad seeing so many content creators who they just look miserable. Like there's no other way to say it. They look miserable. They sound miserable. If you've ever heard me online playing Call of Duty in the last few months, or even the last few weeks specifically, I know for a fact I sounded miserable, because I've been yelling the whole time trying to play that stupid game. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to talk about gaming and having fun and just stuff I'm noticing about in the community. And like, I wish better for everyone. Like, this isn't me trying to punch down at anybody. Like, I wish better for everyone. I want to see people have fun with gaming. I want gaming to be fun. I don't want gaming to feel like a job for anyone, because God knows most of us hate our jobs. We do them because we have to, for the most part, right? The average person works because they have to, but the average person doesn't like their jobs. So it sucks to come home from a job you don't particularly love to then get on video games that you also don't particularly love. Like, that seems like that seems like a recipe for a bitter cake. And I don't want a bitter cake. So I'll end it there. That's it. That's all I got.